The human heart works in mysterious ways. Strangely, we often remember longer those who set clear boundaries than those who give without limits. And love, contrary to what many believe, does not fade with age. In fact, it is at that stage of life when we finally learn what true love really means. There is one quality that women, that kind men want by their side for a lifetime, all share. They know how to say no. Today, we will uncover together the 9 powerful truths about saying no that make women unforgettable. Think of this video as a small turning point, one that can protect your relationships while helping you love yourself even more. Stay with me until the end. And if you're committed to strengthening yourself, let me know in the comments with these words: I strengthen my inner power. So, let us begin this stoic journey into the truths of the heart. Ready? Let's go. 1. Refusing to take on the role of mother. When we love someone, it feels natural to care for them. We find ourselves asking, has he eaten? Did he take his medicine? Is something worrying him? But the stronger this impulse grows, the greater the risk that we unconsciously begin treating him like a child. Step by step, we slip into the role of a mother instead of a partner. Let me share a story. Marie, a woman in her early 60s, met a charming man. In the beginning, everything felt wonderful. But little by little, she found herself preparing his breakfast, buying him supplements, and even scheduling doctor's appointments for him. Without you, how could I manage? He would tell her. At first, those words made her feel special, needed, even. But as months passed, she began to feel drained, while he grew indifferent. He forgot important dates and took all her care for granted. Was this really love? Or was it nursing disguised as partnership? Marie silently asked herself, am I his mother? Yes, when love grows, it is natural to care deeply. But love does not mean becoming an educator or caretaker. True love is a partnership. 2 people supporting each other, growing together. Helping a partner with his weaknesses is important, but giving him the space to stand on his own feet is also a form of love. Because when care turns into dependence instead of gratitude, the relationship slowly begins to crumble. At first, a man might enjoy being mothered, but over time, he respects and values such a woman less. Why? Because he no longer feels the need to take responsibility. She does everything for him. And in that, she stops being precious in his eyes. Love should encourage growth, not constant caretaking. The healthiest kind of love whispers, I can live without you, but with you, life becomes more beautiful. If you find yourself cooking his meals, organizing his medication, or managing his calendar, pause for a moment and ask, am I playing the role of mother here? True love does not mean doing everything for the other person. It means sharing worries, sharing joys, walking through life side by side. A man needs to learn to stand without your constant help if he is ever to truly respect you. And sometimes it takes courage to stop taking over everything, allowing him to make mistakes, to manage his own responsibilities. This too is love. It's this healthy distance that creates the foundation for a lasting relationship. We no longer live in a time when giving everything was seen as the secret to love. Today, love that respects both yourself and the other person holds far greater value. A man will never forget the woman who helped him become a better version of himself, not the one who did everything for him. When you set boundaries and step back from carrying all of his responsibilities, only then does the relationship transform into real love. Be the kind of woman who can wait, rather than giving everything all at once. In that space of waiting, he has the chance to grow. And with his growth, his appreciation for you grows too. So ask yourself, could the man beside you live without your constant help? Would he still respect you if you stopped doing everything for him? If the answer is a clear yes, then your relationship is healthy. If not, then it is time to lay down the mother role. By doing this, you protect yourself from exhaustion and give him the opportunity to step up, to grow, and to truly see your worth. Wisdom 2. Your body is not proof of love. Have you ever wondered, if I truly love him, is it wrong to give in too quickly? When we grow close to someone, both physically and emotionally, the natural distance begins to shrink. A warm touch, a gentle tone of voice, moments spent together, all of these awaken the desire for deeper closeness. But here lies the danger, moving too fast. Especially later in life, the thought creeps in time is running out. Will I ever get such a chance again? This fear tempts us to give too much, too soon. Yet, the body is not proof of love. It can be a beautiful expression of it, yes, but love itself lies in something deeper. In trust, in respect, and in the kind of patience that grows over time. One woman shared with me, "If he truly loves me, he won't be disappointed. I want to give everything, but giving everything doesn't mean giving my body right away. It means protecting my heart." Take Claire's story as an example. In her mid-60s, she met a charming, attentive man at a cultural center. He listened to her stories, held her hand in secret moments, and tried to move closer. But Claire asked herself, does he truly love me, or is he simply lonely? She chose to keep her quiet distance. Over time, the man disappeared. That's when Claire realized, the one who waits for my heart, not just my body, is the one who truly loves me. So watch carefully. If a man becomes offended or pulls away because you take your time, then his interest was probably physical from the start. But if he respects your pace, then that is the beginning of something real, something lasting. True love knows how to wait. It allows the heart of the other to open naturally, without pressure. And love that grows with patience does not fade easily. Before you give him your hand, ask yourself, does he also hold my heart? Does he respect what matters most to me? If the answer is yes, then his love is sincere. If not, it may be time to reconsider. So take your time, don't pressure yourself. Only when both body and heart move in harmony can true love take its full shape. Wisdom 3. Do not let mistakes become a habit. It often starts with a simple thought. This time, I'll let it go. That's how many women begin. The first time, you forgive. The second time, you justify. The third time, you hope it won't happen again. But soon, a quiet question arises within. Why am I always the one who has to swallow everything? What first seemed like a small oversight can slowly harden into a damaging habit. Take Sophie, for instance, a woman close to retirement. Through a mutual acquaintance, she met a man who fascinated her. At first, everything seemed promising. But over time, his careless words, his broken promises, and his constant lateness began to pile up. He only half listened when she spoke. Sophie tried to excuse it. She thought, at his age, maybe this is normal. Out of fear of losing him, she kept silent. But silence has a cost. Every relationship requires clear boundaries. Without them, not only do you seem easy to dismiss, but he also stops taking you seriously. People respect those who set standards. It's as simple as that. Of course, everyone makes mistakes. But when mistakes repeat without any response, no one benefits. You become drained, and he becomes numb. The relationship turns one-sided, stripped of respect. Constant forgiveness loses its meaning. Eventually, he begins to think, no matter what I do, she'll stay anyway. But true love isn't built on blind patience. It thrives on responsibility and growth. That means he must keep his promises, and you must honor your own boundaries. If you accept everything in silence, he has no reason to change. So, speak up. Say it clearly. This behavior hurts me. These words wound me. If it continues, I must take my distance. This is not harshness. It is protection for both yourself and the relationship. Some believe love means enduring everything, but real love inspires both partners to become better. A wise woman doesn't endure endlessly. She creates respectful distance that allows room to grow. Love at any age lives on respect, not endless tolerance. So set your boundaries. If you hope he will somehow guess your thoughts, it will be in vain. Speak them aloud, and he will understand. Start small. Say no to repeated mistakes today. Respect begins here. And now I'd like to hear from you. Are you connecting with these truths? Tell me in the comments where in the world you're watching this video from. And if you're appreciating this effort, do admire my work with a like before we continue. Wisdom 4. Rushed love does not last. Sometimes we tell ourselves, this must be destiny. When we meet someone whose voice sounds gentle, whose manner soothes us, whose presence feels good, we want to see them often. We write to them, we reach out, we move forward quickly. But love that begins too fast often burns just as quickly and dies out just as suddenly. I recall the story of an older woman who met a new partner in the cafeteria. At first, the passion between them was intense. Soon, they were talking about moving in together. But within a few months, the first cracks appeared. Conflicts emerged, and their expectations began to collapse. Later, she admitted with regret, "If only I had taken more time to know him better." Even in later years, the thrill of new love can be powerful. The racing heart, the joy of a message, the excitement of company, all of it is real. But deep and lasting love reveals itself only with time. It is more than excitement. It is the question, do we truly want to walk side by side for the long run? To answer that, you need patience. You need to observe carefully his values, his personality, his habits. Binding yourself too quickly means judging by appearances, by surface charm. But over time, the true character always shows itself. Hasty love often carries signs of insecurity. Do you really love me? Why didn't you answer today? But mature love takes its time. It listens, it waits. It allows trust to grow slowly. And trust doesn't grow from the number of meetings. It grows from the depth of your encounters. A single honest glance, a truthful word, can reveal more than weeks of hurried passion. Ask yourself honestly, am I taking the time to truly know this person? Or am I rushing just to escape my own loneliness? These questions build the foundation for a more solid love. A man who values you will wait. Real love in later life should glow like a steady lamp, not flare up like dry straw that burns in seconds. The love that grows slowly endures longest. So give yourself time. Learn to feel deeply. That is the secret of mature, lasting love. Before we continue, if these words resonate with you, make sure to subscribe to my channel SYC Soul, like this video, hit the notification bell so you don't miss upcoming content, and share this with someone who might need it. Wisdom 5. Do not lose yourself in love. There is a temptation many women face, to adapt completely, to give everything, to bend their own life around the man they love. At first, it feels natural. You want to make him happy, to meet his needs, to show him care. But slowly, without even noticing, you begin to lose yourself. Carl Jung once wrote that love can be a process of transformation, but not if one person disappears inside the other. True love is the union of two complete individuals, not the erasure of one. Think of Margaret, a retired teacher. When she met a man after her husband's death, she thought she had found new meaning. She rearranged her days to suit his hobbies, gave up her own routines, and even distanced herself from old friends because he preferred it that way. In the beginning, she believed this was proof of her devotion. But soon, she felt empty like a shadow of herself. Her story is not unique. Many women, especially later in life, fear being alone again. This fear drives them to adjust too much, to silence their own needs. But here lies the truth. If you give up your essence, your partner does not truly gain anything either. A hollowed-out self cannot sustain love. Healthy love allows room for individuality. It means saying, "This is who I am. These are my interests. These are my needs, and I want to share them with you." It's not selfish to insist on this. It is the very ground on which mutual respect grows. Jung emphasized that individuation, the process of becoming fully yourself, is central to human wholeness. Without it, even love becomes distorted. When you erase yourself for someone else, you rob both of you of the chance to experience real intimacy. So protect your space. Keep your friendships, your passions, your routines. Share them with your partner, but never abandon them completely. A man who truly loves you will cherish the woman you are, not try to replace her with an image of his own desires. Ask yourself, am I shrinking myself to fit his life, or am I expanding because of his presence? The answer to that question reveals whether you are nurturing love or merely surviving in it. Remember, love at any age should make you more alive, not less. Never sacrifice your essence, because your essence is the very gift you bring to love. Wisdom 6. Recognize the value of silence. In many relationships, words flow endlessly. We explain, we argue, we defend, we persuade. But often, the more we speak, the less we are truly heard. Carl Jung observed that silence is not emptiness, it is a powerful presence. In love, silence can protect dignity, reveal truth, and show strength. Think of Anna, a widow in her 70s. When she met a man at a community event, she found joy in his company. But sometimes, he would raise his voice, insisting on his point of view. In earlier years, Anna might have argued back, tried to prove herself right. But this time, she chose a different path. She listened quietly, without resistance. After a while, he grew embarrassed by his own tone, and the conflict faded on its own. That is the hidden power of silence. It is not weakness. It is a mirror. It reflects the other person's behavior back to them. Too often, we confuse silence with surrender. But silence, when chosen wisely, is an act of strength. It creates space, allows emotions to settle, and prevents words from cutting too deep. This doesn't mean silence should replace every response. When boundaries are crossed, words are necessary. But constant explanation and endless justification rarely bring change. Sometimes the most profound statement is the one unspoken. Jung reminded us that true communication goes beyond words. Much is said in a glance, in a gesture, in the calmness of a quiet presence. In love, silence can express patience, trust, and even forgiveness more deeply than sentences ever could. But silence has another dimension too. It gives you time to listen to yourself. In stillness, you discover what you truly feel, what you truly need. Without this inner space, you risk being carried away by arguments and noise. Ask yourself, am I speaking because it is necessary, or am I speaking because I fear silence? If it's the latter, perhaps it's time to pause. A love that can sit together in silence, without discomfort, is a love that has depth. Because when words are not required, presence itself becomes enough. So, do not underestimate the quiet. In love, as in life, silence often says the most. Wisdom 7. Do not try to change him. One of the most common traps in relationships is the hope that, over time, the other person will change. You notice his habits, his flaws, his way of speaking, and quietly think to yourself, if he truly loves me, he will adjust. If I stay patient, he will become the man I imagine. But Carl Jung warned that forcing change upon another rarely works. True transformation only happens when it grows from within. Consider the story of Helen, who in her later years met a kind but stubborn man. He was generous, but he disliked social gatherings, while Helen loved them. At first, she thought, once we are closer, he will come with me more often. Months passed, but nothing changed. She became frustrated, insisting, persuading, even scolding. The result? Distance grew between them. Trying to mold someone into your ideal only breeds disappointment. Because when you fall in love with an image of what could be, you stop seeing the person who actually is. Mature love is not about reshaping another, but about acceptance. This does not mean ignoring harmful behavior or tolerating disrespect that requires boundaries. But when it comes to personality, tastes, or long-set habits, the wise path is to decide, can I love him as he is? If the answer is no, then honesty demands you step away. If the answer is yes, then your love becomes freer, because it is based on reality, not fantasy. Jung believed that each individual carries a unique pattern, shaped by both the conscious and unconscious mind. To demand radical change is to deny that inner pattern. Real intimacy begins only when you allow the other person to remain himself. Ask yourself this: am I loving him, or am I loving the idea of who I want him to be? The difference is crucial. The truth is, people rarely change under pressure, but they often grow naturally in an environment of acceptance and respect. A man who feels free to be himself is more likely to evolve, to soften, to deepen. And when that growth happens, it feels genuine, not forced. So, do not begin with the project of fixing him. Begin with the question, can I embrace him as he stands today? Only then can love find solid ground. Wisdom 8. Do not forget your own life. When love enters your life, it is tempting to make it your entire world. Especially in later years, when loneliness has been present, the warmth of companionship feels like a sudden sunrise after a long night. You want to spend every moment with him, plan your days around him, and let your own routines fade quietly into the background. But here lies the danger. When you forget your own life, you slowly lose balance. Carl Jung taught that wholeness requires us to live in connection not only with others, but also with ourselves. A relationship should enrich your life, not replace it. Think of Eleanor, a woman in her 70s. After years of solitude, she found love again. At first, she was overjoyed. She skipped her painting classes, stopped visiting her grandchildren as often, even gave up her book club all because she wanted to be available whenever he called. For a while, it seemed sweet, but soon she began to feel restless. Without her passions, her world shrank. And when her partner was busy, she felt empty. Love that takes away your life is not true love. Real love supports your individuality, your friendships, your work, your passions. It does not demand that you shrink your world down to one person. It inspires you to expand it. A strong partnership is like two trees standing side by side. Their roots may intertwine, but each grows tall in its own space, reaching toward the sky in its own way. If one tree bends entirely into the other, both lose balance. So, continue your life fully. Keep your hobbies, your friends, your routines. Let love become part of your world, not the whole of it. This balance not only protects you, it protects the relationship. A man who sees you living fully respects you more. He admires your independence, your vitality, your wholeness. And he feels more inspired to share in your world, rather than trying to absorb you into his. Ask yourself, if he were not here today, would I still feel alive? Would I still have meaning? If the answer is yes, then your love is built on strength, not dependency. Never forget, your life is your foundation. A relationship may add beauty, but your own life gives you roots. Guard it well. Wisdom 9. Never beg for love and closing. There may come a moment when fear whispers, what if he leaves me? What if I end up alone again? In such moments, many women are tempted to cling tighter, to plead, to adjust endlessly, just to hold on. But Carl Jung reminds us that begging for love only empties it of meaning. Love that must be begged for is no longer love, it is dependence, and dependence weakens the soul. Consider Maria's experience. After months of companionship with a man she admired, he began pulling away. His calls grew fewer, his visits shorter. Out of fear, Maria tried harder. She called more. She rearranged her days for him. She asked repeatedly if something was wrong. Instead of bringing him closer, it drove him farther away. One day, he left for good. Looking back, Maria said, I gave up my pride to keep him, and I lost both. This is the bitter truth. Love cannot be forced, demanded, or chased. Real love is freely given, not taken under pressure. When you beg, you reduce yourself, and in doing so, you also reduce the relationship. A man who truly values, you will show it without being asked. He will come closer of his own choice, not because you pressed him. And when he does, his love carries the weight of authenticity. Jung often emphasized that dignity is central to human wholeness. Without it, love becomes hollow. To stand firm, to protect your worth, is not pride, it is the foundation of meaningful connection. So never beg. If his heart is moving away, let it. If he chooses distance, allow him the space. Better to walk alone in dignity than to stay in false closeness without respect. And when you hold firm, you make room for the love that is truly meant for you, the love that requires no begging, no chasing, no pleading. Remember, love is a gift, not a bargain. The moment you must beg, it ceases to be love. So, as we close this journey through Jung's wisdom, keep these truths close. They are not rules to limit you, but lights to guide you. If this video brought you clarity, strength, or even a moment of reflection, then please subscribe to my channel SYC Soul. Like this video, hit the notification bell so you never miss the upcoming ones, and share it with someone who may need these words today. And always remember, true love honors you. It never asks you to lose yourself.